Well, we made it to Steamtown. See the Union Pacific cars over here. And you can see all the old cars. Inops, as they would call them. Look at the roof on that one, man. Ooh, wooden roof, huh? Some rusty cars here. They're still cool, even if they're rusty. Check it out. The big boys up there. That's so cool. They got these Union Pacific engines here, 1776. How classy is that? That's awesome. Look at that. Engine 1776. That red one, man. That thing is awesome. Wow. Look at that flag on the side. America 250 with the Liberty Bell. Dude. That is cool. 1776. Wonder what that's got in it for a power plant. That is the 4014. Doing some kind of maintenance to it. Looks like they got a bunch of plumbing parts in hand. They're changing out a valve or something. You got to be a plumber to work on steam engines. I know we're here to see the big boy, but this 47 here is pretty awesome. Canadian National Railway. Man, that thing is cool. Look at this thing. That is awesome. Pretty cool. Union Pacific, 1776 to 2026. 4014. You got an eagle on there, everything. First class. Right, so this is the operating 4014, which also is a American locomotive company.
Across the boardwalk. Yep, keep going across the boardwalk. You'll see a boarding platform. There's signs that say
they did such a nice job on restoring this thing. It's amazing. But then we got its brother over here, the 4012, which stays at Steamtown all the time. It doesn't run, but they just repainted it cosmetically. And it's looking pretty sharp. I'll tell you that much. Looking pretty sharp. It's so cool to see these things. What do we got up here? The wheels. 4884168. Pretty awesome. SKF bearings. Man, it really is amazing how big these things are. Just crazy to fathom how big it is. Just amazing. We've already been in this train last year, so we're not going to go back up in it again. But there's a big line of people that want to get in it. A Union Pacific big boy. Look at all the valves in the cockpit here. Isn't that crazy? The thing is huge. Wow. Big boy 4012. And just these wheels got to be 6 feet tall. I'm just under 6 feet and they're just as tall as me. Crazy. How many different pistons does it have? 24,000 gallons of water in that thing. That's some serious water. I wonder how many miles it can drive on 24,000 gallons. The Union Pacific here really did a first-class job with all their cars. The paint, they just look amazing. 2124. Look at that thing, huh? That thing's awesome too. They have a roundhouse in here all full of trains. I think all the trains in this roundhouse actually operate, if I remember right. Pretty cool. 790. Nice. Right over here, a diesel. The Lackawanna, little switcher. That's cool. There we got this big nickel plate road. Beautiful. All right, we got a bunch of trains in the roundhouse here. And again, I'm pretty sure these all actually operate. Nickel plate 57. Wow, nickel plate 759. That thing's cool. Look at this old boy here. If you could only smell what it smells like in here, it smells like coal and creosote. Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western 565. Is there a year on there? 1908. It's pretty cool. Canadian Pacific. A beautiful train. Oh, dude, this number 26 over here is actually steamed up. Pretty classy how they got the numbers on the front of the locomotive. 3254. Big trains, huh? Yeah, some coal smoke there, dude. Number 26, Baldwin. Pretty cool, huh? What year is this one? Let me see if it says what year it is on the sign up here. 1929. We're in the machine shop back here. Check this out. Got a CNC Bridgeport machine. Big wheel lathe back there. I don't know what they're working on up here. Can't get close enough.
By using one locomotive. They had used Challenger locomotives before that, but they wanted something more powerful that could pull a train 2 to 5 miles long. That has a 6,000 to 7,000 horsepower, that locomotive. They saw the big boy name and they said, we like it. And that's how it got its name, Big Boy. Normally we say she, just like anything military or destroyer or aircraft carrier, but the big boy is aboard. Okay, with that, welcome to machines that you see here. They were taken for scrap, as we feel. The last Class 1 railroad that came through here was Conrail. So that was that was a typical procedure. If you could get scrap and get money for it, you would. So we had to repurchase, or as I call it, lend-lease. How many remember that from World War II? If you look at the color of all these machines, where do you think we got them from? Military, right? Military green. And some of them you'll see an anchor on it, came from the Navy. They had very good railroads, and so did the Army. They also did work on aircraft carriers, destroyers, destroyer escorts, battleships. All this stuff was in mothballs at different depots. So they weren't using it anymore. We needed it. So that's what I call it, the lend-lease. The crowd is a little bit big to go meandering around and look at all the machines, but anybody here, some people raise your hand that worked in a machine shop before? Clear out a machine that we have in the factory.
Pretty cool equipment, huh?
That can take up to a wheel 80 inches in diameter. And they cut that flat spot out. But you gotta cut the other side too. You wanna make it true on both sides.
How's that for a crane?
And steam.
That's awesome.
So this is the 19th century. Soon we'll be going into the 20th century. Let's see, where do you see that? Oh, right, it is over here. So this is the ring of
stuff they got in here. This place is awesome.
When we need it.
American Hole Wizard. Look at this, huh?
As opposed to 20,000.
Looking at a boiler over here. Look at that. That's pretty awesome. The wheels in the back. That's pretty cool. Here's a, looks like a cylinder in the workbench. There's another one down there. Springs. Pretty cool. Parts washer. Check out the lights here. That's pretty awesome. Look at that motor back there. That thing's huge.
Maybe on Facebook you might have seen that we have this here to build it. We're building this right from the rails up. Full restoration. It's been about 30 years we've been working on it. But as you walk through, you've been walking by a lot of the parts. The parts are here. Over there, the firebox. That's the cab. Brand new. The trucks, the front trucks are new. The 80 inches in the back. Remember I said look in that back room? This is a Pacific style engine. 3 to 4. This is Lima, locomotive, Lima, Ohio. Sustained speed, go up to 80 or more miles per hour. When you look at wheels like that, 80 inches, it's a general rule of thumb, you're talking about a passenger locomotive. Fast. You're not looking for tractive effort like the big one. There's 68 inches, but many and tractive effort. So this is for speed. So just think of the physics. An 80-inch circle going down the track can cover a lot more distance than a 60-inch or a 68-inch. We use the ball peen hammers to figure out the thickness of boilerplate. So now we kind of cheat these days. We're up in the 21st century, so we got to get somewhat modern. The squares that are over there. You see the squares right here? They have numbers at each corner and one in the center. That's an ultrasound number. Same as the shade. You saw numbers over there. Same thing. Ultrasound. We're looking for the thickness. If it doesn't pass muster, then they have to cut that section out. They have to weld a new piece of boilerplate in. We found that the frame was true. If you could look, you really have to look though. Down by where the piston is, there's a piano wire that goes along the edge. We found that the frame was true. Definitely something you want to make sure that you're not going down the track with the alignment wrong, just like your car. Blueprints. If you work here in the shop, that's the other thing besides no computers, you have to learn how to read a blueprint. We have blueprints for pretty much every piece of rolling stock we have here at Steamtown. So you'll learn that as an apprentice working in the shop. Called thermic siphons. And what the job of the thermic siphon is to recirculate hot water that's already circulated. So that you have superheated steam going down to your steam chamber. You have one fast locomotive. And as we go out, I'll take you out through what I call the boneyard. And I'll show you, we're going to pass those thermic siphons that were in there. They had to make new ones. They bought these 1934. That's a very short distance from one big event in this country that almost destroyed us. 1929, the crash. And here you have a railroad buying locomotives at $100,000 a piece. 1934 money, 100,000, that was a lot. They had a naming contest up there, and the young gentleman that won for this, James Schulman Moore, and we're going to have that plaque on ours when we christen it and bring it out. He said the Constitution's the backbone of the country. Railroading made this country what it is, which is true when you think about it. Under the Industrial Revolution brought us into that. He said, let's name it the Constitution. And the boss of the Maine liked it. So he won the contest for naming this engine.
Let's see, what do we got over here? A shaper? Cincinnati. Said all the green tools came from the Army and the blue from the Navy. The thermal exciter from the Boston and Maine that makes the superheated steam. Man, these things are really cool. New Hampshire Trap Rock Company. What's the deal with this one? Poland Springs. It got Poland Spring water. Industrial switch locomotive. Sheridan, Pennsylvania yard. Huh. Yep. Operated a blast furnace, so it's from some kind of steel mill. That's pretty neat. Big flag up there. That is a cool car. Empire Refineries Inc. Look at that thing. That's awesome. Huh. Pretty awesome. Got the 4014 and the 4012 right next to each other. Pretty amazing. There we got the big boys again. Pretty amazing, the whole thing. Down here, they're washing the Union Pacific cars. It's pretty awesome. Got pride in their work. Pretty awesome, huh? Man, that Norfolk Southern 7076 is pretty awesome. I think Norfolk Southern and Union Pacific are trying to merge. I think that's what it is. So Union Pacific is a great company. I bought shares of their stock years ago. It's done very well. I wish I could see that whole Libertyville paint job though. And that thing just sounds mean. Hear the turbo whistling? It's awesome. So you got Union Pacific. Experience the Union Pacific. Promontory. That's where the railroad's connected out west. The Golden Spike, right? In Utah. It's pretty awesome. These other cars up here, these Norfolk Southern cars, look like something that'd be on the Strasburg Railroad or something. Pretty awesome. This one up there has the glass roof like it's an observation car. That's pretty awesome. This one down here, the 1923 engine. Supton Beaver Railroad. It's pretty neat. Wonder what's in that big tank here. Probably had water in it back in the day for the steam engines. Yeah, this walkway here. It's pretty crazy. It's all 2x4s on their edge. I'm trying to figure out how many boards might be in there. There's a lot of boards. Pretty crazy.